I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, if you guys give me a minute, I gotta get our account online so we can get halfway through.
Did you hit the button? Did you hit the button?
Of course. There we go. Hey Kyle, Tony, you're on the speakerphone for the whole world to hear. Can you hear all right?
Yes, I'm good. I'll watch my language.
There you go. All right, we're good.
All right, roll call, please.
Michael? Sullivan?
Present.
Smith?
Here.
Money?
Here.
Jones?
Here.
We have quorum. At this time, I'd like to open up public comment. State your full name, spell your last name. Come on up to the microphone. Anybody public comment? All right, one more time, public comment. At this time, we'll close public comment. All right, this time, I would like to make an appointment for the city clerk. I'd like to appoint Adam Beatty.
We would need a motion to approve the mayor's appointment.
I'll make a motion to approve Adam Beatty for city clerk.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll make the second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to bring Adam up here for a minute. Adam King, we were discussing the position. He's a college graduate and a police officer for multiple years, literate in Word and multiple other type of computer issues that he can work with us and help us. And we also definitely got to have, clerk is a good position to have filled because we have to do this tax levy and some other stuff that we need the clerk to work off of. So, anybody got any questions for him?
One thing as I have, I like to sit down with him privately, not tonight, actually, but I want to do a personal interview with him, and I'll set up sometime so we can discuss. Okay? I mean, yeah, I apologize. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, my understanding, this is an emergency that we're going through, because the reason I say that, we have all this procedure, but we ain't got time for it now. Is that the way it is? If it ain't passed tonight, we're in trouble, right?
We need a city clerk, because of the tax levy, but we're not skipping any steps. It was posted on the agenda.
It's supposed to be done though now.
Well, the sooner the better for
We
it.
want it done now.
We do have to have him here, right?
The city clerk?
Yeah.
City clerks go for the tax levy, the 1.7 million we need to have posted by 4:30 tomorrow, and everything else we need the clerk for.
Yes. My point is,
But we're not skipping any steps though. We're on the agenda.
we have to be skipping some things,
Fine.
but I didn't get no notice, nothing till right now. But however, I'm gonna vote for it.
Do we know when the agenda was posted?
It was posted Thursday. Actually, I just showed Wayne the email.
Well, I didn't. I guess I didn't get an email, but I'm going along with it.
I showed him my email that when I received it.
Well, anyway, I was here, I met Faye Saturday. We come here and to get his mail, and my mail, there's nothing mail. So then, him and I both looked at the agenda out there. And then, I possibly, there's a good possibility I overlooked it, okay? You know.
And it's on Facebook and the city thing, so you can check.
I
dates if you
don't
want.
watch none of that stuff, because a lot of it's baloney, especially
Well, it just verifies when it was
Braidwood
posted,
politics, so.
because they're all time stamped.
Let's move on.
All right, did we miss a vote?
No more discussion?
No. Just so we can have a chance to sit down and talk, because I'm a long time, in politics and all that. I know a lot of stuff and all that, so I just want, so we get on the right track, okay?
Again, that's all I want, is see they keep moving forward.
Sullivan,
Yes?
Smith,
Yes,
Money,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
You wanna do the oath now or after Kyle did his spiel?
We go now?
Okay, whatever you want to do.
Let Kyle do his talk?
Yeah, we could do that. Are you still there, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Then finish up and explain to him why we kept with the 4%.
Yes. Okay, so first and foremost, we could levy slightly more than 4, but if anything higher than 5, the city would have to hold a public hearing, so that's, why we stayed under that. And in terms of levying 4%, that's also what we levied in the prior year. And basically, we levy 4%, we're not necessarily gonna get the full amount. I looked at last year's levy, and the amount levied last year was just under 1.7 million. And the city got 1.66. So about 30,000 less, and that's more or less just because you're at a cap, and then it's dependent upon how the taxpayer base is. And the city of Braidwood taxpayer base has been fairly good in the last 2 years. So the fiscal year 21 levy that we are proposing right here at 1,734,115 is about 35,000 more than last year, and this all works out well. The city should be receiving slightly less, but fairly similar to where last year's was. And additionally, how this levy was set up, the amount levied per fund has to also be in line with the budget. So, for example, Social Security, 131,620 was budgeted. We have to levy at least that amount. So that's why if you look in the Social Security fund, for the amount levied per fund, there was 136,671. So the main thing for the levies is for the restricted levies, we have to at least levy what was in the budget. And then the other funds, we more or less allocated accordingly based on how much was budgeted and where historical expenditures are. So are there any other questions or concerns?
Also, Kyle, depending on the state and the revenue for the state too, that could mean a big difference too, with the funds that are sent to us, because they shut down so much stuff with the gaming, and I'm sure we'll get our gas tax and all that, and I just hope that, and I understand too that the state is looking for money from the federal government to help with the government funding too. Yeah, but I don't know where that's at right now.
Yeah, and that's something we could revisit right before the fiscal year closes out. We'll also be working on the fiscal year 22 budget, and we could dive a lot deeper in a lot of these areas. It's just kind of hard to tell right now. I do know though that from doing the bank recs that we've updated through November that the city
I agree with you, with me reading the paper, I know the city of Joliet is in dire straits, so. And then, I'm not sure, I haven't, heard so much, I know, City of King has some issues, but Bourbonnais and Bradley, I'm just kind of comparing, but, they're a lot bigger and all that, and with the sales tax and all that, but I noticed that the city of Joliet is, really in dire straits, so. I'm glad to hear that we're doing good.
Historically, Wayne, to talk on it, I do know that as we were going through November, at the property tax collection, staying on that, the city collected just about as much as they were in the previous, so I mean, you're at about a 99% collection rate, so I mean, from what it appears, residents are paying their taxes, and that's definitely a plus, so despite some of the decreases from state funding, it still appears the residents are paying, which is, obviously good for the, tax levy where we can anticipate in the future.
President Trump, paid my taxes for my house this year, so. That's all I have, Kyle.
Okay, and Wayne, we could also look at, when working on the next year's budget that's upcoming in, we start doing our planning in April and May, we could dive down a lot deeper in some of these line items, such as, the Social Security and IMRF line on, moving funds around, but again, the tax levy is based on the budget, so now that we're getting a better handle on where everything is, we can use our historical figures, when planning the fiscal year 22 budget, then we'll also have a, impact on next year's budget, so. People watch the live, but I hear, if anyone has any questions or concerns.
I'm looking forward to, getting involved with that more this year with you and Nancy, so looking forward to that. Thank you.
The only thing we gotta watch for is this year, I did secure quite a few grants that were not guaranteed next year. So just because we have extra money in some places, we're not gonna have it next year. Not for sure, you never know. I've picked up a lot of grants and we've used those and it's benefited this year, but they may not be there next year, so we just have to watch all our line items before we take money out of them.
Can I ask a question, Kyle?
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle?
Yes.
This is Doug Money. On the proposal we have here in front of us, under salaries, are those equal to last year's salaries, or do we have increases put in there already?
What page are you looking at on the, I don't have the number, is it?
I'm looking at the different departments.
Okay, so like the administrative department, where there's
Yeah,
96,
I guess
924 listed for wages and benefits.
we're looking at contract negotiations, and I'm just curious if we're only getting 35,000 more than we did last year, but we have to give some kind of raise to the contract workers, the union contract. Won't that chew up all of our extra money that we have coming in?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, the levy is more based on the restricted levies, such as IMRF, Medicare, insurance, and audit, whereas the general fund and then police protection, to that extent, they both fall in the general. They eat up more or less the rest of it. So that's something, Doug, we can look at in more detail. I don't have that answer off the top of my head right here, but just looking at how this is set up, that's solely based on where the budget was for fiscal year 21. So again,
Okay,
figures will change in the future, but I'm using fiscal year 21's budget as a base for where all those figures are coming from. So not reflecting any raises or new hires to that extent.
okay, thank you.
Before I close, I have a comment. So, is there anything else?
No.
We discussed before and kind of went over my head this spring when the water bill, the 4% and then 4% for sewer. It kinda went over my head, and I don't know how I let that slip by me, cause I thought about it all spring. But anyway, I think that should be on the agenda. Unless, there's other comment, Doug, what do you think? Cause that, we have to pay our EPA loan, and that, is a big chunk of the stuff, and we can't pay it out, the tip money anymore, but it's gotta come out, we have to live upon our means, and so.
So does that mean that you're gonna put the money back in the water fund from the general fund?
Well, I have to discuss with, you mean the 700?
No, the money that was taken out of the water department that hasn't been put back.
I have to talk to Kyle about that and see how we do it, 'cause I thought.
Because otherwise you're
I
gonna
thought we
have-
got done.
What?
I thought I got done.
No.
Well, we have to really look at, raising the fees, and I know might be a little bit of a discomfort for our homeowners and all that, but, when this was put on with, not previous administration, the one before that, when we had money put aside for the sewer plant and water plant, and then, they went and borrowed extra money, and then, that mayor at the time, added a 4% on the sort of thing, so I think we really have to really consider, keeping up with that.
All we voted before was to delay the 4%. We never stopped the 4%, we just delayed the timing of it.
I think he's saying, Doug, is he wants to go ahead and put that.
That was an automatic.
It was automatic for a while, and, due to the COVID, the city council decided to hold off on it, so now
It is automatic every year.
we
just chose-
could put it on the January thing if
Yeah.
you want, it's no big deal.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Lynn. So do we vote on,
Yeah, we'll need a motion to approve.
yeah, we need a motion to approve the levy.
I make that motion.
Wayne, you're making the motion to approve an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the city of Braidwood, Will County, Illinois, for the fiscal year beginning May 1, 2020, and ending April 30, 2021.
Yes.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call.
Dolphin,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
All right, we're good, Kyle, thank you.
all right, Tony, I'll see you tomorrow then.
See you
Take
tomorrow.
care.
Alright, come back, guys.
Good night.
All right, you wanna swear Adam in?
Yep.
Next thing on our agenda?
You wanna give him a copy to read off of too?
I, Adam Beatty,
I, Adam Beatty,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of city clerk for the city of Braidwood,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of city clerk for the city of Braidwood
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys.
All right. Our next regular city council meeting will be Tuesday, January 12th. 12/21, 7 o'clock. We need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Dolphin,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for coming out.